Speaker, 2% of the total oil revenue. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Come again. Hold on.
Yeah.
So there are two proposed amendments that has been advertised. You are abandoning all the two proposed. Only the first one. Okay. Okay. So,
Mr. Speaker, is a cabinet policy decision not to earmark oil revenue for the purpose of source of funds for the authority. Mr. Speaker, arguably as sponsor of the bill, when I was articulating it, I hope you indulge me just to put it for the record. The 2.5%, it was my contemplation that into the future, Ghana can have a scholarship and bursaries authority so that this dedicated money would be used to administer bursaries and scholarship. Having been Minister for Education, Mr. Speaker, the most impactful initiative of President Mahama under his research have been the no fees stress and the no fees for persons with disability. It was my thinking that we could earmark for the purpose of dealing with this into the future. But probably when we see the operation of this law, we would come back in the future. But Cabinet advised that I stand down the 2% of total revenue. But my thinking was to earmark it in order that you just don't fund scholarship, but you create a scholarship and bursaries authority into the future. And also recognizing that the state, as of today, we owe millions of dollars in scholarship. In the US alone, over $40 million. In the UK, over £20 million. We will have to rely on budget. That may mean that you may disappoint a number of students who are on scholarship. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, let me go to Okre. Okay, then let me call Honorable Kabiru. It has come.
Yeah, so thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to thank the Minister for Clarity. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, my issue has got to do with clause 20, the E and the D. One is loans. You are still on B's. Okay. I thought because you were making an amendment to delete it. But...
Dr. Kabiru.
Mr. Speaker, I want to differ from the sponsor of the bill in a sense that if you look at this whole clause, the proposed paragraph he seeks to delete is the only concrete, is the only measurable funding source for the scholarship program. The rest are to the discretion of people. There are no numbers attached to it. And this is the only
Minister,
funding source.
Are you listening to him? Yes.
This is the only funding source that is very concrete, that is very measurable, that we can determine how much is coming to the scholarship fund. The rest is as of discretion of the executive. Mr. Speaker, if you are establishing a fund, one cardinal important thing to the establishment is your funding source. If there is no funding source that you can clearly place your hands on, then you better not establish it. And I think that even though this is coming from the executive, this House, with the power to make law, would have to insist on very clear, measurable funding source. Otherwise, we are just making a law without the efficacy of that law. Mr. Speaker, I propose, I prevail on the sponsors of this bill that even if the 2% is something that they think is too onerous and a burden on the oil revenues of the country, we can propose a very lower percent. Mr. Speaker, using the oil resource of the country to educate our people is a very good investment. There's no better use of our money than to use it to educating the sons and daughters of Mother Ghana. And I don't know why cabinet will take such a decision to drop this rather laudable proposal. Mr. Speaker, I'll urge this House that at least 1% of the oil revenue of the country should be used. Otherwise, the rest, we cannot, the rest, we can't determine where they come from.
Very well.
Speaker, so submit. Thank you.
Very well, thank you. I'll come back to you. Let me listen to Azebu Ahmad, then I'll come to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, once the Honorable Minister had abandoned and actually asked for it to be deleted, I wouldn't want to make any argument towards it. But from where my brother Kabiru is coming from, this is a scholarship fund. It is a subset of the general education fund, which gets fund and the rest are supposed to take care of. And I think we should be more interested in making money available for the totality of education. And so if you commit as much as 1% or 2%, specifically for scholarship, what is the percentage of Ghanaians? And if you look at who the beneficiaries are, so let me leave that and rather go to 20C. The B. No, the B has been deleted. I asked for it to be deleted. Okay.
Let me give it to the chairman of the Constitutional Committee.
Mr. Speaker, I'm exceedingly grateful. Mr. Speaker, I don't think we should split heads on this provision. If you look at 20A, whether it's 10%, 19%, or 100%, it will still be approved by this House. So 20A says that monies approved by Parliament is omnibus enough to cover all the speculations that we are contemplating here. And so I think that the deletion is in the right direction. The fact that we will tie ourselves up to 2% in here, it could have been more if approval is given for Parliament to give that. And so we take that off and leave 20A, which gives an omnibus sort of approval for Parliament. At any rate, Mr. Speaker, what monies can be paid to anybody without parliamentary approval? So that is why approval has to be sought from Parliament. Right.
Well.
Yeah. That's right.
Yes, Honorable Yindam.
That's fine. Mr. Speaker, I think that we all appreciate the explanation that my good friend Shabu has given. We are all interested in this bill because it's about scholarships. And like the memorandum says, this was established somewhere in the 1960s. So it's something that our grandparents thought about and brought this into fruition. It is up to us to make sure that this thing works. And it is a plus in the minister's cap because this is the first time we are coming out with such a comprehensive document to guide this scholarship secretariats. Mr. Speaker, we all agree with the minister because it's a policy from cabinet, and we cannot be debating cabinet policies. But it is in our interest as Ghanaians that if we are doing something, we must try and do it well. So if maybe the 2% is even higher, we are talking about oil revenues. And it would have been best if we have some components so reliable that this particular, even the get fund formula, that's why I was saying that if you look at what Shabu said, that monies approved by Parliament is omnibus enough. So what is the use of a percentage of money from get fund? What is the use of it? No, because it is omnibus enough. So let's delete everything so that we just leave money approved by Parliament. But it is because it's not enough. That's why sometimes we are coming out with some kind of funding to support the scholarship secretariat. So we agree that it is a policy matter, but maybe like Minister, in a way that's going forward, future, we should be looking at it. We may do politics with it, but at the end of the day, look at the quantums of money that Minister is talking about. We are indebted when it comes to the scholarship secretariat. So I think that is good. We will leave it here. We all know what is going on. Then we'll go up to other areas. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. So, honorable members, I will be inclined to put questions. If I see that one issue we are just splitting our heads on, I'll put the question so that the majority will move on. Is that okay? That's the essence of majoritarianism. If one issue, Dr. Kabilo thinks this way, and Honorable Professor Yinsu is also thinking another way, and it is going on, the only thing we can do is to put it on vote. So I think this one we've understood it. Professor Dr. Kabilo is still on.
Right, Mr. Speaker, I agree. Just safe to say that sometimes the majority needs a bit of explanation and convincing. And I will just urge that when the issue is so contentious like it is, your laxity of time to dilate more into the issue could convince them. I'm not sure they came to this chamber with a very iron cast or concrete cast mind on these provisions. So the argument we are raising is to help them and to help us as a country, Mr. Speaker. Except to say that I agree with you that when it's ongoing, then we'll put it to question and then we can vote as such. Thank you.
Very well. So, honorable members, so Chairman, let me hear your proposal again.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we are abandoning the proposed amendments so delete B as well.
So we are deleting B entirely?
Yes.
Okay. So now we move to C. Is that the case? Okay. Okay. You are saying I should put the question. But he says he has abandoned it. He's saying he has abandoned the. Come again. It's a deletion. Very well, very well. So, honorable members, all those in favor that we delete B on cross 20 say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, I'll put the question again. Honorable members, allow me to put the question again. All those in favor that we delete cross B, 20B, say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it, eh? Okay, the ayes have it. So we move to C. Let the chairman, then you come back. You come. Yes, chairman.
Mr. Speaker, amendment proposed. Paragraph C. Delete and insert the following. Monies approved by Parliament for scholarships in the Ghana Education Trust Fund. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, there is a proposed amendment to clause 20C. 20C. Yes.
Please, there is an omission. It should be monies approved by Parliament for scholarships in the Ghana Education Trust Fund formula.
So that will be the rendition. Very well. So, honorable members, clause 20C. Yes, honorable member for Dotobri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, looking at the 20A and 20C as proposed, I really don't see the difference. I see that the C is rather being superfluous. I would rather we delete the C as proposed and maintain just the A. C is just superfluous.
Very well. Chairman, he is saying that the C is just a subset of A. Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, not necessarily. Every money in Ghana by law is paid into the consolidated fund. Parliament exercises financial oversight over the budget, and Parliament can at any time decide that we are dedicating this amount of money to fix a problem in the country, be it award of scholarship. Mr. Speaker, every year the GET Fund comes to this House with its formula. It has been an integral part of the GET Fund formula every other year that a minimum allocation is made for scholarships. That has been the practice. So we are now making it law that a portion of the GET Fund formula will be dedicated to scholarships. So if this is approved, when the formula is presented to Parliament, you would see a budget line, scholarships from the GET Fund. It may not be enough, but at least it provides cushion for those in school to be able to do it.
Well. Yes.
A percentage.
Member for Ofinsonof.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Earlier, I would have agreed taking out the percentage in the GET Fund formula. As I said earlier, I would have agreed to taking out the percentage for the GET Fund formula. But unfortunately, we have denied Ghanaian students almost $13.5 million by deleting B, the 2% of oil revenue. Last year, approximately, we had about $1.35 billion. And by deleting B, we are saying that we are denying our young ones almost $13.5 million that we can help develop them, they can take over this nation. So if we are taking out that point, then we cannot be sure the percentage of the GET Fund money that is coming in. That means we cannot assure young ones, young Ghanaian, the youth of this country, that this is the amount of money that we are putting in their education. So, Mr. Speaker, there has to either we are bringing the 1% of the oil revenue and leave as amendment being proposed by the chairperson, or we will have to put a certain percentage. But here we are, because we need to have some. I'm making an argument, Mr. Speaker. I'm making an argument because if you've taken one, we can't take two away. That means the argument that was made by my member of our parliament for Odotobri will stand, because we are saying money is approved by Parliament, then money is approved, the formula money that is approved by Parliament. We know for sure with the GET Fund, there's a percentage of our taxes that is going to GET Fund. But we also have to be assured what percentage that is going towards the scholarship. So there has to be a percentage. If not, then, Mr. Speaker, we may have to...
Did you listen to the minister?
Yes.
The minister is trying to say that over the years, the GET Fund has been doing that, but there's no budget line or GET Fund is not actually obligated to do that. But now, once we approve this, here, the formula, there will be a line dedicated to scholarship. Minister, is that not the argument?
Rightly so, Mr. Speaker. What our colleagues should appreciate is that when this scholarship authority is established, it becomes a public entity and is entitled to budgetary allocations by the Honorable Minister for Finance. In his budget allocation, he can say that I'm dedicating an amount of 20 million for the scholarship authority, but that has to be approved by Parliament as part of the approval of the budget and appropriation. But the formula is a statutory fund, which also comes to Parliament for Parliament to exercise oversight. So we can have monies approved by Parliament that takes care of my first argument. Then the second is a percentage from the Ghana Education Trust Fund. Mr. Speaker, we have a problem. There are Ghanaian students abroad who are in final year, who, if you don't get money to pay their fees, probably will have difficulty completing school. We are mindful of that, but I said this other bursaries and scholarship authority is futuristic. Mine is that I see no wrong in us dedicating a portion of oil revenue to support human resource and human capital. Every country sees human resource. But I'll come back to this house, Mr. Speaker, in the foreseeable immediate future to see if we can establish a scholarship and bursaries authority. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Education Minister, Education Minister, I will need your attention here. Mr. Speaker, we are making laws and we are trying to make it better. If you look at 20B, even though we've passed that stage, you were very specific that 2% of the total oil revenue. But C, you said a percentage of money from the Ghana Education Trust Fund determined by the board. So my question here is that, and the question my colleague was trying to establish, if GET Fund bring their formula here, I'm coming. Let him finish. To be determined by the board, because the minister in his response, no, not the advertised amendment, the minister in his response says that a percentage from the GET Fund formula will be used to fund the scholarship secretariat. What percentage of the GET Fund formula? So assuming the board decides to say that, okay, because you are not specific in passing or making this a law, we are giving you, let's say, 0.03%, and which will be insignificant, or elect to say that what we are giving or what we have realized in terms of the revenue from GET Fund, we are giving you something that is insignificant. Because the funding part is a very serious component of the entire scholarship secretariat. So if we don't have dedicated funding, of which the oil revenue, even though we have passed that stage, was very much okay, because you know that you are getting some 2% from oil revenue. Rather than that, you pass the law and you will not be able to fund it. It will just be there, a white elephant. How do you fund it? So I think we have to be very specific on that.
Well. Yes, let me give to. Okay. Honorable Shaibu.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I think that I tend to agree with leader. If you check the original rendition, Mr. Speaker, it says a percentage of monies from the GET Fund or the Ghana Education Trust Fund determined by the board. Indeed, we saw that determination by the board will not hold, It is rather by Parliament. Okay, so in coming out with the new rendition, we left out the percentage. So I think that I will make a further proposal, an amendment, to bring in a percentage of monies approved by Parliament for the scholarships in the Ghana Education Trust Fund formula. I so move.
Very well. So it means now you've done away with the board.
Yes. Not by the board, by
Yes.
Parliament.
Okay, so that is his new rendition. That's the proposed. Shaibu, can you come again with the new rendition?
Speaker, we have to be guided by a very recent legislation, which is the Medical Trust Fund Act. That's all we did. We took money from NHI. The NHI formula is approved by this House. Yes, it's a percentage. So hold on, please. So it is not novel that we take money from a fund that is already established and approved by this House. Now, the argument that we should indicate a percentage, by all means, it will be a percentage. But the wisdom is that when that formula comes to this House, every time we debate it and agree on which percentage should go where. So we will be caging ourselves into a straitjacket if we determine a certain percentage. I think what we should do is that we should give the mandate. And when they formulate it and give the various categories that they come, then we will determine by the various arguments and debates on the floor. Then we will assign the portions. But if you put it in the legislation, then even if they want to up it, then it means we must come by amendment. So I want the drafters to look at the Medical Trust Fund bill, the phrase used to tidy this up, and then we can make progress. But once the percentage introduced by the Honorable Shaibu Mahama will not harm the provision, I believe we can carry it. It will be a further amendment to what has been advertised. Then we can make progress, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, we have a certain situation and we don't want to stay too long. So we should curtail. I'm saying we have a certain situation. We don't want to stay too long. So the debate must be brief so that we can make progress and we can adjourn for today.
Yes, Honorable Kabiru.
Mr. Speaker, we are talking about two different things here. The first thing is the Ghana Education Trust Fund. That is one thing. And we are talking about Ghana Education Trust Fund formula. These are two different things. If we are making reference to the formula, we cannot put percentage to it, and that becomes a problem for this particular fund. But if you are talking about the Ghana Education Trust Fund, we will need to put a percentage to it. And that's what I'm saying, that if we are conflicting the two, we'll get it wrong. The formula is being discussed and is debated by this House. So there's nothing concrete about the formula until it comes to this House and debated and all money is approved. But for the fund and the amount goes to it, the amount that goes into the fund is determined up in issue. Because we have passed the law and we are saying that a certain percentage of our revenue taxes should go to the trust fund.
Yes.
So it's determined.
Yes.
Now we don't want to look at the allocation of that particular percentage to various sectors. And we are proposing that if we deleted B and we are saying that government should approve monies, then we must be ready to put some percentage of funds that should be drawn from the GET fund to finance this bill. But if you say that a percentage of the formula, it means that when they come and say 0.
But my brother, the money that goes to the fund is the entire money that comes to this House to determine how it's supposed to be used through the formula. So I see it as the same, because the money that is coming from the consolidated fund to the GEF fund is the entire money that will be brought here for us to determine how the formula is supposed to be. So you would determine how much you should give it to the scholarship.
Mr. Speaker, and that is exactly what we want to prevent. It is exactly what we want to prevent. Mr. Speaker, we have to look at the intent of this bill, this proposed act or bill. We are collapsing GMPC scholarship program by the application, by the enactment of this bill. We are consolidating. That is the act. The act. That's what the act says. The act says that we are consolidating the different scholarship program. If that is what the act says, then basically I'm right, because the object of the act, of the bill, Mr. Speaker, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4 of the memorandum. Sorry. Furthermore, the multiplicity of public institutions handling or awarding scholarship without collaboration with the Secretariat is another challenge that affects the effectiveness and efficacy of the Secretariat in the performance of its function. This, in particular, affects the responsibility of the Secretariat to report fully and accurately to government and other stakeholders on all scholarship awarded by public institutions in the country. Mr. Speaker, that is the import of this bill. And so if I say that by this bill, GMPC scholarship cannot go on without reference to this bill, I'm right. And there was money that GMPC will set aside for their program. Now that money is supposed to then be channeled to this particular fund. And that is what was contemplated in B of clause 20. That was what was contemplated in B of clause 20. Now we are saying that we are deleting B. And I'm saying that once we are deleting B, let's fund a certain percentage. And then we would be very concrete with the funders. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I'm afraid this bill will be a white elephant.
Well.
Mr. Speaker, I think the Education Minister, based on the arguments Dr. Kabiru is advancing, it is important and very necessary if we want the survival of this bill to allocate a percentage. We should not just be thinking about this parliament. Now, this parliament, the majority, you have super majority of 189, 185 plus the independent. Assuming, Mr. Speaker, what happened in the 8th parliament? If Mr. Speaker had elected to do business with the minority would have been majority, even though they won't have the executive president. So if parliament wants to staff an institution based on its numbers, if we are all not putting percentage, we will have that powers to do that if we leave the bill to stand. But we should be able to pass a bill that will go beyond this parliament. So assuming there is an executive president, but the party that is holding the presidency is not having majority in parliament, then you said the formula and the percentage must be determined by parliament. If I am in the opposition party have majority in parliament and I want to staff the scholarship bill, you bring the formula and I either give you 0.01% of whatever it is. So it is good but that we put a certain percentage to it so that it will guide us and so that the bill will have life moving forward.
Mr. Speaker, I will persuade my colleagues to appreciate that this is Parliament. The Get Fund formula will come to Parliament and Parliament will make a decision. Mr. Speaker, under the Public Financial Management Act, we ought to do fiscal analysis. How much do you need for scholarship in a particular year? We can decide as a country that tomorrow we need to train more engineers or medical doctors. That will determine how much Parliament should allocate to support scholarship. So when you say a percentage, we are leaving that to Parliament, that whenever the Get Fund formula comes before you, mindful of the need of the scholarship authority, then you make sure for that year, then that will be done. Mr. Speaker, we are also minded that the Minister for Finance is doing an overall revision of the value-added tax, which is the source or feed to the Get Fund. And therefore, when you put a percentage, you may go and get less than what you require when you need more. So, colleagues, I think that a percentage is enough. The burden and mandate is still that of Parliament. then based on practice, we can improve it over the years. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well. So,
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I agree with Minister. But, Mr. Speaker, we have been in this house for some time now. And monies allocated or monies given by ministers and all allocations being made. Mr. Speaker, some of these things, they really don't go by it. We've all been in this house for some time now. And if we are leaving it this way, it is too discretionary. Too discretionary. Mr. Speaker, the formula has always been approved by this parliament. And there have always been some kind of allocation from the formula to scholarship secretariats. If we want to go by that way, then I don't see why we should legislate it. Because it has always been so. Because any formula that we bring to this house, there is a portion or there is a line that goes to scholarship secretariats. I don't know why we are running away from a percentage. Because the Chief Whip just mentioned the medical trust fund. There was a specific percentage. It was there. We never argued this way. Because there was some kind of powers behind it, we never argued. Because we knew it was going to enhance Mahama Care. And because of Mahama Care, we didn't talk. We all agreed.
Because this one is Haruna
But because this one is coming to Ghana Care, there is a problem. Mr. Speaker, there is a problem. There shouldn't be a problem. Please, I have the floor now. So please.
One is Haruna Care.
So, Mr. Speaker, I will want to propose an amendment, or I want to appeal to Minister. These are two things. If we will flag this particular clause, I'll be happy. But if we are not flagging, then I want to make a proposal. And, Mr. Speaker, this is my proposal. You either vote it or it stands. 15% of money approved by Parliament of Mr. Speaker, I take it again. 15% of money approved by Parliament for scholarships in the Ghana Trust Fund, Education Trust Fund formula. 50%. That is my proposal. So put the question. So that if we are voted out, we know that we've been voted out. But we've made our case.
No debate. Honourable members, like I said, I think I'll be inclined to be putting the questions as we move on, because we have diverse views on any issue that come before us. So,
Speaker, two things. One, the amendment before us is the further amendment enhanced by the Honourable Mahama Shaibu.
yes.
That is where we are. Now there's a counter. There's a counter from the Honourable Nyindam.
Yes.
But in making that counter, Mr. Speaker, he went very unparliamentary. There is no way this bill that is sponsored by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's government is not meant for Ghana.
You should take things lightly.
No, we take things lightly. But Mr. Speaker, if you allow such things to go into the records, it is Ghana Care, aka Mahama Care. So this bill, Mr. Speaker, let the record reflect that it's sponsored by GM's government. So even though it is Mahama Care, it is still Ghana Care. Let the record reflect that.
So honourable members, Honourable Sesu, I will give you next this one. Let's move on. So give us the proposed further amendment that you gave. Then I will take the question on the counter proposal from Honourable Nyindam. Then you move on.
Mr. Speaker, most grateful. Mr. Speaker, having listened to the arguments, may I rehash the new rendition?
Yeah, give us the rendition, new rendition, new proposed.
So, Mr. Speaker, clause 20C, the proposed new amendment should be a percentage of monies approved by Parliament for scholarships in the GET Fund, the Ghana Education Trust Fund formula. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, there is a further proposed amendment to the one advertised on the other paper? All those in favor of the proposed further amendment say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the further proposed amendment is carried. Yes, Honourable Indam, will you still maintain your counter?
Mr. Speaker, I have abandoned my my proposal. But I know tomorrow you will come back to this proposal. Although I have abandoned it. Because the powers here are very less.
So, honourable members, I'll put the entire question cross 20. All those in favor that cross 20 as variously amended stands part of the bill say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Cross 20 as variously amended stands part of the bill. Cross 21.
Bank accounts of the authority.
Mr. Speaker, there is no advertised amendment.
Honourable members, there is no advertised amendment according to the chairman. And I'll put the question, all those in favor that cross 21 stands part of the bill say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, cross 21 is directed to stand part of the bill. Cross 22.
Expenses of the authority.
Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, there is no advertised amendment.
Honourable members, there is no advertised amendment according to the chairman of the committee. And the question is, all those in favor that cross 22 stands part of the bill say aye. So you can't also respond. All those in favor that cross 22 stands part of the bill say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is carried. And that cross 22 is directed to stand part of the bill. Cross 23.
Accounts and audit.
Mr. Speaker, there is no advertised amendment.
Yes, there's no advertised amendment as per the chairman. And the question is, all those in favor that clause 23 stands part of the bill say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 23 is directed to stand part of the bill. Clause 24.
Annual report and other reports.
Mr. Speaker, there is no advertised amendment.
Honourable members, there is no advertised amendment to clause 24. And the question is, all those in favor that clause 24 stands part of the bill say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 24 is directed to stand part of the bill. Before we move to clause 25, let's turn to the Speaker's Gallery. We have a guest from Pan-African Parliament, and they are a committee on trade, custom, and immigration. They are here, sitting at the Speaker's Gallery. They are 5 in number. Yes, they are 5. And the first one is Honorable Rodney Crote. He is from Namibia. The second one is Honorable Hannah Benkaya. She is from Morocco. The third one is Honorable Jonathan Daka, and he is from Zambia. The fourth one is Miss Marina da Trida, and she is from Benin and is a clerk to the committee. And lastly, Mr. Jeffrey Onganga, and he is from Gabon and is the head of the media and public relations. Honorable members, you are welcome. We wish you well, and we pray that you enjoy Ghana. We believe you are already enjoying, and you enjoy more. So you have visited your colleagues, and we are at the moment making laws. We are at the consideration stage. You are welcome once again. So let's turn to clause 25. Chairman.
Eligibility criteria for award of scholarship.
Mr. Speaker, amendment proposed. Add the following new subclause. Despite subsection 1, the authority may, for the purpose of improving international cooperation, grant a scholarship to a person who is a non-Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Very well. Honorable members, there is a proposed amendment to clause 25. That is clause 25. Yes.
Thank you.
Let me listen to the Minister for Labor and Employment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this clause is a very good clause. It touches on the fact that Ghana's position from the very beginning, when we granted scholarships to other countries, individuals in other countries, enhance our capacity as leaders in Africa, and so it's recapturing that flavor. But I'm asking whether for improving international relations could be the only reason why we could be granting scholarship to a person from another country. It could also have some connotation in academic excellence and some other reasons. Specialized areas of endeavor in academic work that could have an enhancing interest in Ghana. So I'm just wondering whether we could not do a little amendment to reflect.
So let's hear you. What proposal do you make? Is there any rendition you are coming up with?
My proposed amendment is that a person, I can't see it, 25. Yeah, so okay. So I was going to suggest that we say international cooperations and also as a result of academic excellence.
Honorable Minister, I'll give you the opportunity. Just sit down and craft the rendition you want us to have. So, Minister, Honorable Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to sort clarification on clause 25, a person qualifies to apply for scholarship under this act if the person is A Ghanaian, and B, brilliant and needy. Mr. Speaker, the brilliant and needy part.
It's not brilliant and needy, it's brilliant but needy.
Okay, brilliant but needy. So who determines who is needy? Discrimination, Mr. Speaker, discrimination. So Chairman, if you can throw more light on it, who will determine that this person is needy? And Mr. Speaker, the discrimination laws that we have, if you want to be specific to say that the person must be brilliant and needy, but needy, Mr. Speaker, that one we should look at it very well so that it can come out very well, or else it might offend other laws.
Yes.
Speaker, I believe that the phrase brilliant but needy has assumed the status of a term of art now, and we are enacting it into our legislation. Speaker, number one, to determine how brilliant you are, your transcript is the basic reference point, or your terminal report. Now, yes, your results. So that's the basic reference point. Then two, your circumstance. Your circumstance could be that you are from Hamile and you are making first class in engineering at Takwa. Now, yes, there are. But I am saying that you are from Hamley. We are using circumstance. Or, Mr. Speaker, you are from Agodeke in Afram Place North, and you are making first class. We are using circumstance. Apart from determining that you are brilliant, we are using further circumstances to establish that. So that becomes a matter of discretion for the board to exercise. We do this in legislation all the time, provided that it is not abused. So that in determining who is brilliant but needy, the people are not concentrated in the elitist neighborhoods. That is the essence of what we are doing. So that the opportunities are fairly distributed. Mr. Speaker, further to the amendment that is being proposed, the international cooperation is so important because, Mr. Speaker, as we speak, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, the Kingdom of Morocco, the Federal Republic of Nigeria and India, Australia, they all give Ghanaian students scholarships using funds or revenues generated by the citizens of those countries. So it is to further our stance in the Committee of Nations that we can also legislate to reciprocate these gestures. Look at Cuba. Cuba takes a lot of our young people every year. So, Mr. Speaker, I believe that my senior, the Honorable Rashid people, will look at it, and if he's not minded to further his amendment, then we can carry the proposed amendment and make progress. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I seek your guidance. I humbly seek your guidance. We have the proposed amendments with us, and we have the bill as well with us. The bill, clause 25, is stating the categories at which the scholarship will be given. Now, the proposed amendment is suggesting other support or other conditions. Mr. Speaker, if any member here thinks that what the proposal is making, I mean, there are problems with it, Mr. Speaker, the person should make the proposal, show that you put the question on it. Because the suggestions have been made here. VII is giving us, despite subsection 1, the authority may, for the purpose of improving international cooperation, grant scholarship to a person who is a non-Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, it is not the point for you to justify whether it is good to be there or not. It is for you, Mr. Speaker, to put the question whether somebody else, whether the House has agreed to be part of the bill or not. Mr. Speaker, again, when you go to the same clause, VII, it says a scholarship awarded by the authority shall be based on A. So it's making a new rendition. A, the merit for the applicant. 2, a B, the developmental need of the country. Or C, the need to improve international cooperation. Mr. Speaker, so you give us a guidance.
No, honorable member, you see, when you look at the A, a person qualifies to apply for a scholarship under this act if the person is a Ghanaian, right? So that is the basic qualification. But the amendment is coming up that there may be an instance that somebody would be not a Ghanaian, but under her circumstance or his circumstance, we may have to consider his application. Is that not the argument? So I think it is something that we can, and that's why they are giving reason for maybe international cooperation for this. So I think the amendment is up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's all I'm seeking to
So I'll put the question. All those in favor of the proposed amendment is carried, say aye. All those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The proposed amendment is carried. Now the same clause 25
Mr. Speaker, VIII, amendment proposed. Add the following new subclause. A scholarship awarded by the authority shall be based on A, the merit of the applicant, B, the developmental need of the country, or C, the need to improve international cooperation. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Well. So it is in favor of the earlier one. So all those in favor of the proposed amendment say aye.
Clear, it's not. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, I don't see any problem with this.
Mr. Speaker, I think we need to be clear with what we are doing as far as clause 25 is concerned. If you look at the proposed bill, it has two criteria: A, a Ghanaian; B, a brilliant but needy. Then when you go to the amendment,
Honourable Fred, speak to the mic, please.
When you go to the amendment, we are talking about two different things that are also confusing. Mr. Speaker, if we are proposing despite subsection A1, I agree. So that becomes subsection 2. This is the first. So now we have to deal with subsection 1. So that if subsection 1 is A, Ghanaian; B, brilliant but needy; then C, we can talk about the developmental need of the country. Then of course we can.
No. Honourable, you are missing. The first one is concluded. The person should be a Ghanaian and the person should be brilliant but needy.
Okay.
Then they came up with an amendment that there could be a situation that somebody may not be a Ghanaian.
Yeah, but Mr. Speaker, that becomes to that if we don't clarify, it's going to be because those two things should not be alone. In that case, I was going to propose that the eligibility should also meet eligibility criteria as determined by the board. Because if you stick to only the two, which is a Ghanaian and brilliant but needy, it's not the standard is used across the world as far as scholarships are concerned. Because if you look at the stress-free tuition support, it's also a scholarship. And if you say only brilliant but needy student, then you are taking some out. So, Mr. Speaker, let's clearly look at.
So what do you suggest?
So
that you put the question.
A person qualifies to apply for a scholarship under this act if the person is A, a Ghanaian, and B, brilliant but needy, but to include C, meet eligibility criteria, meet specific eligibility criteria are determined by the board. We should add that. Then of course we can go.
Honourable Fred, I don't side with you, but I'll put the question. I must confess, I don't side with you, but I'll put the question so that you move on. So all those in favor of the proposed amendment of my brother from Offensive say aye. All those against say no. So the noes have it.
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members,
Mr. Speaker.
Let him be frank with you. Today I am not in this position to so let's move on.
No, it's important. You know, I only come in when I have good reason. I don't do this for the fun of it. Mr. Speaker, I'm commenting on the amendment proposed, which has to do with the eligibility criteria. Here it says, a scholarship awarded by the authority shall be based on the merit of the applicant, which is fine. But the developmental needs of the country, that is where I have a problem. when we are discussing the eligibility criteria of the person. Because if you take the heading, it says eligibility criteria for the award of scholarship, and we are dealing with the person. So a person qualifies to apply. But when we are talking about the developmental needs, I think that is problematic as an eligibility criteria. So, yeah, so maybe you need to explain that to me.
Minister, hold on. Yes.
Before you clarify, just to add to what he's saying, Minister, if you look at what the amendment is saying, the developmental needs, you will see that if you move forward to clause 27, it talks about the consideration of application. And I think that amendment, no, I'm saying that this amendment, I'm making the proposal here that this amendment may better suit at the consideration of application, where we are going to look at the developmental needs, or because in that area you talk about the priorities of the donor. So in commenting, I think that would better suit, that amendment will suit at 27 than at eligibility. Now,
cross 27.
Yes, for the developmental needs of the country. Now, on eligibility, I just want a clarification whether the consideration is put together, whether it has to be a Ghanaian and brilliant but needy, or they are separate. Because I'm of the view that once the person has qualified to enter into any of our institutions and has admission and continues to be there, there are a lot of people, like in my constituency, may not be able to pay their fees. But when we say brilliant but needy, then we are trying to segregate people. So I want that clarification from the minister in affirming this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister. Yes, my professor agrees.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm trying to use this to explain the honourable member from Efien's question about the developmental needs of the country. Mr. Speaker, I think that the clause 25B is saying that the criteria that these people will be chosen based on the developmental needs. For instance, if at that particular time the country needs, let's say, biomedical engineering, it's a developmental need that the country needs. So once the biomedical engineering issue becomes a developmental problem, then the scholarship can go towards training more biomedical engineers to come and plug in the whole of the country, because now we need more biomedical engineers to take care of our medical equipment in the hospitals. So that is why it's important that we put in the developmental needs, because the National Developmental what's it called? NPDC. Yes, NPDC will have, NDPC will have developmental needs that come up as we go along. And so it is important that at some point the developmental needs of the country becomes important and how we award scholarships. Thank you.
Thank you. For instance, for a couple of years, Cuba has been assisting Ghanaian medical doctors because they realized that Ghana, we needed that angle of profession, and therefore they offered scholarship for Ghanaians to come and study medicine so that we can come back and help our country. So that becomes the developmental need of Ghana. So if Cuba was then supporting Ghana by way of scholarship, they will look at the developmental need of Ghanaian, and that was it. So I think that is the same way this particular bill is trying to catch. So, Honorable Shaibu, Honorable Chairman, may you put up the rendition again so that I put the question and move on.
Mr. Speaker, before the honourable member for the Boya comes in, I have listened to the debate I appreciate the intervention of our colleague who think that this belongs to 27, and therefore we can have 27, 1 and 2. But Mr. Speaker, eligibility criteria for the award of scholarship, when the word developmental need was used, Ghana ought to have had a manpower development plan developed by the National Development Planning Commission that will give a focus of our human resource requirement into the future. But Mr. Speaker, specific as you are giving your own example, for instance, take artificial intelligence. It is now the norm. Everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. Which university in Ghana are you going to go and learn artificial intelligence? But to prepare Ghana for a world to be driven by artificial intelligence, you can dedicate scholarship to Ghanaians to go and study artificial intelligence. But as was observed by the Honorable Whip, the Honorable Defense, Mr. Speaker, reciprocal. Why we want to add it to eligibility is that, indeed, Mr. Speaker, maybe tomorrow when I'm coming, I'll carry it. I have a letter sitting in my office from the Honorable Foreign Minister about ECOWAS citizens who want to be able to study in Ghana and who have been promised some scholarship. They can only come under this international cooperation and reciprocal leg. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll urge that you put the question and then we progress. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the clause is very too much wide open. We need to be clear about who is proposing the need, the developmental need. And I believe that we might have to do an amendment and be specific that NDPC. If we don't do that, Mr. Speaker, what will be happening is that everybody will be waiting for somebody. And then we'll start creating our own developmental needs and not serving anybody. So we should be specific so that if each year we get the list, we can use that as a basis to
Honorable Dako, I think the bill is explicit that those who qualify, one, the person should be a Ghanaian, and two, the person should be brilliant but needy. These are the main. Then, because it is insisted that the person should be a Ghanaian, then they are coming with a proposed amendment that there could be an instance whereby somebody may not be a Ghanaian, but we may have to probably extend our support to that person. And that is where this requirement is also coming in, that that person should be the merit of the applicant. So that person, even though he's not a Ghanaian, but we have to consider his application on merit. Then two, that is B, the developmental need of the country. So like we are Ghanaian, the person who is applying, let's say is a Togolese, but we have to consider the Togo as a country, the need of the, come again.
Mr. Speaker, I think the understanding is that we can give scholarship to an ECOWAS person, but that person in the long run should still fit within the developmental needs of Ghana, because we are saying that when people go outside, they should come back and serve, having gotten the scholarship from Ghana. I think that
No.
primary.
Now we are talking about non-Ghanaian, and the development need that we will consider will be the need of that country. Like how we're using the medical students who went to.
But that's not what the law is saying, though.
As an instance. So that is also one angle, and of course, the third one is to improve international cooperation, because we probably want to. So that is the angle, and I think it's a good thing.
Speaker, I see the mischief. Now, Honourable Minister, there's a small mischief. So in the 25, the earlier amendment we carry under 25, we should indicate in the second amendment we seek to carry that a scholarship awarded by the authority under. So because the table office will indicate whether that will be 25. No, under 25. That amendment was carried under 25 after Brilliant Banidi. So that will be 25-1. Then we introduce 25 to that despite subsection 1. Yeah, preamble. So I see, because the introduction of the phrase, the developmental need of the country is what is creating the problem. Whether the person of the country means Ghana, the country granting the scholarship, or the country of origin of the beneficiary.
The country of the origin of the beneficiary.
So exactly. Yes. So exactly. So it should be scholarship awarded by the authority under subsection 2. Do you understand? So it cures it, because it is the developmental needs of Ghana for which we are awarding the scholarship.
Oh, put the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was actually going to request that the Honorable Minister for Education gives the policy guidance. What is the intent behind that? Is it the developmental needs of Ghana or the developmental needs of the country from which that person is coming? And that policy guidance is what will solve this problem. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, Ghana. Thank you.
Minister, did you say Ghana? Then I don't seem to, because we are, Minister, my understanding is that we've considered that the basic requirement is a Ghanaian. Now we are extending further. Say there could be a situation whereby a non-Ghanaian will need to be supported, and that is where all this criteria is coming. The person should be brilliant.
Mr. Speaker, let me withdraw my retortive answer with Ghana, but explain that, Mr. Speaker, I agree with you in the thinking of the international cooperation and others. And I agree that, indeed, if the Honorable Member for Daboya and the Chairman, I even tend to them to say that we may have to add a sub-clause C, that under exceptional circumstances, a non-Ghanaian could benefit from scholarship. That I said under exceptional circumstances. Exceptional circumstances, for instance, Mr. Speaker, somebody wants to come and learn by the Asante culture of Adwa. He may not be a Ghanaian, but he wants to come and learn something about Ghana or the folk laws of Ghana. You may want to encourage the person. Absolutely. No, I'm just giving an example. You may want to encourage such people to know more about our country, and you can dedicate scholarship to support that. But Mr. Speaker, I'm guided by your brilliance on the development needs. So, Honorable, could you ignore my answer and let's make progress? Thank you.
Yeah, Shaibu. Yeah, let me give the opportunity to the new bloc in the House.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I think it's just, I just want to speak to the fact that whether the criteria of considering cooperation inure to the benefit of Ghana or another country, I think it can be both. In most circumstances, what you have to look at is the developmental challenge of the country you are dealing with, a partner country, and you can give scholarship to students in that particular country to be able to help settle their developmental needs. But in other cases too, it could also be informed by our national interests. So for example, if we want to achieve a particular interest in another country, we can sponsor students in that particular country, in that particular specific topic, to be able to get our national interests met. America, for example, when they were trying to project the whole concept of liberal democracy, they sponsored students in developing countries to come and learn political science and democracy. When they go back to their countries, they'll be able to preach and teach the ethics and values of democracy to their people. And that opens up the system for debate and for America to project their national interests. So I think what we can do, we can look at the Ghana's national interests in neighboring countries and specific courses that can help us to be able to achieve that particular interest in those countries. Then we give scholarship to students from that particular countries to come and pursue that particular specific course, so that when they go, they can be able to expand the interests and the needs of the Ghanaian population there. So I think it can be both in the regards.
Well. So let me put the question.
Speaker, this one regulation will come. regulation will fine-tune some of these matters. So
Shaibu, give us a rendition, then we move on.
Mr. Speaker, the reason clause 25, the second amendment, the reason I didn't want that it stays on 25, we should rather move it to 27. Mr. Speaker, the reason is, if you look at clause 25, the gravamen of clause 25 is about eligibility. And so the three subclauses that we have proposed sits there. Eligibility criteria for award of scholarship. So 1, Ghanaian. 2, brilliant but needy. 3, contemplates a situation where you may not be a Ghanaian, but because of international cooperation, indeed, we're the first to even name our foreign ministry, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and regional integration. And so 3 contemplates that. Another criteria will be a non-Ghanaian. And so these 3 should sit under 25.
Should sit under 25.
Under 25.
So it means we should rather establish another subclause.
So the VIII, which now talks about the merit, should not sit under eligibility criteria. The head note is clear on that, except if we want to amend the head note and add other things. But it's clearly eligibility criteria. However, Speaker, if we come to 27, it talks about consideration of application. Now, if you're now going to go to the merit of the applicants and the application that has been submitted, then you can drop that. You can drop that under 27. So you pull that off from this, and then we leave it that way.
Well, that is what Okre suggested. So if that's the way we want to...
I agree with my learned friend. My friend in smoke.
So it means we should maintain the 25. Then when you go to 27 for consideration of application, then we can look at that. Is that the pressure of the House? Very well. So then we will hold on to 25. We will abandon this amendment. Chairman, so I should put the question on the... Very well. So all those in favor of the second amendment in clause 25, say aye. All those against, say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment, that is VIII, is carried. Let him put the entire clause 25. No, we'll come to second consideration. Then we look at what is it?
So you put to the House was to the fact that those in support of the second amendment in clause 25. That's the question you put to the House.
Yes, we've already done the first amendment.
The sense I had from the chairman was the fact that the second amendment in 25 will be deferred to 27. The first amendment is what you are putting the question to. And the first amendment lies within clause 25. So if you are putting the question on the first amendment, you are right. But on the second amendment, it was deferred to 25. And that's what I wanted to
Well, Honorable Dr. Kabilu, I thought the first amendment we considered in clause 25 was the one that dealt with, yes. So I think that one has been done. I put the question. I put that question. I put that question. So when I said the second one, that means I was referring to this. So now let me put the entire clause 25. All those in favor that clause 25 as variously amended stands part of the bill, say aye.
Mr. Speaker, since we are at consideration stage, I'll seek your leave. And colleagues, if the honorable member for Daboya is a modern drafter, I still belong to the old school of drafting. Mr. Speaker, in 25, we probably, if we want to move to 27, as was earlier suggested by our colleague, Honorable Shaibu, eligibility criteria for award of scholarship, head note. So eligibility. A Ghanaian, brilliant but needy. Now, on the basis of the argument we all advance, you may have to provide for a C, a non-Ghanaian under exceptional circumstances determined by the board. Then you can put the question overall on tray. Under exceptional circumstances, that's why you can direct the drafters to take note of that. A non-Ghanaian can benefit from scholarship, but under exceptional circumstances determined by the board. Under exceptional circumstances. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I think I will help you because is it 25 says Ghanaian, which we don't have problem with.
Yes.
It says brilliant and needy, we don't have problem.
Yes.
But the first amendment that was passed by this House took into consideration the fact that we can, the first amendment was not moved.
Yes.
It's the second amendment that was moved. So the first amendment that was passed by this House was to the fact that despite subsection 1, or the authority may, for the purposes of improving international cooperation, grant scholarship to a person who is a non-Ghanaian.
Yes.
This one still stays under 25. Okay, it doesn't move to 27. It still says under 25 because it provides the caveat that you can award scholarship
to a non-Ghanaian,
to a foreigner or a non-Ghanaian based on international cooperation or whatever reason it is. And I agree.
Then we go to 27 and go and give the
No, when you go to
parameters.
27, that is not going to be. 27 is the second amendment which talks about the merit of the application, development needs of the country, the needs to improve international cooperation.
Exactly.
All right, that will go to 27.
I share your view.
But the current rendition should be as it is, Mr. Speaker.
I think I'm inclined to go with Dr. Kabiru. So, I minister very well. So,
I'm just thinking, does it not restrain us to only international cooperation? Because if you come in and talk about other circumstances rather than just international cooperation, because you see, you do not have to have an international cooperation with a country before you consider giving some foreigner scholarship. It does not necessarily have to be only based on international cooperation. It could be exceptional circumstances. Like somebody came to Ghana, you found the person gallivanting, but you actually saw that the person has some great brilliance in the person, and you want to adopt the person and support the person.
The person can even be here under a refugee status.
And that is not international cooperation. So I think that the minister's rendition should still hold. But beyond refugees as well.
Mr. Speaker, if I have your leave, we can have subclause C and B. C will be non-Ghanaian under exceptional circumstances. Then D will be the international cooperation. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, you see, the problem with the under exceptional circumstances is that you don't want, with the greatest respect to the Minister of Education, that his girlfriend is in Mozambique. That he will bring his girlfriend from Mozambique to say under exceptional circumstances. Can I make my point? Okay, let me use lawyer Mahama Shaibu. We don't want a situation where the chairman of the education committee will say that his friend is in Mozambique. He wants to be. Mr. Speaker, all across the countries, if there is a need to promote your language, it has to come through the government to government. You don't want an individual coming to the country to apply to say that we are promoting this, so let's give the person a scholarship. Let's bring it through the corporation. Let's do it government to government. Let's do it bilateral. But we shouldn't open it for individuals to apply because there is a program and we say that, okay, we are promoting a certain end. So, Mr. Speaker, let's leave it at international cooperation. Let us not make it look like.
Well. So, honorable members, we will take it as it is. The chairman presented it. So now Honorable Chief Whip.
Speaker, we've spent about 30 minutes on this matter. And I believe that the amendments that we have carried are such that if we feel strongly about introducing a few other matters, we'll have the opportunity to do so tomorrow. Or a regulation will come which will fine-tune some of these matters we are raising. So I believe that, put the question, let's make progress. When we get to 32, then we can.
Well. So 32. Whilst you move on, we can even take a second consideration when they need be.
Precisely
so honorable members. So cross 25 as variously amended. All those in favor say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. Cross 25 as variously amended is directed to stand part of the bill. Clause 26.
Application for scholarship.
Mr. Speaker, there is no advertised amendment.
Honorable members, there is no advertised amendment. All those in favor that clause 26 stands part of the bill say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, clause 26 is directed to stand part of the bill. Clause 27.
Consideration of application.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, clause 27, amendment proposed. Delete and insert the following as advertised. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. There is a proposed amendment. Yes. So, I'll put the question. All those in favor of the proposed amendment say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The proposed amendment is carried. And I'll put the question and then cross 27 as a whole. All those in favor? Further amendment, okay.
Mr. Speaker, further amendment by insertion of I. Special circumstances of the applicant. Mr. Speaker, this proposed amendment to include I is to the effect that we are building a country where we want inclusive scholarship program for a person with disability. And the scholarship fund could target people who are disabled, or disabled applicants could be given consideration by virtue of the fact that they are disabled. That promotes inclusion. So, and I think that if we include that, our bills would be more, if you like, disability friendly than it currently stands.
Is it a case that the application, as it stands now, is discriminating against people with disability? Is that the case?
Mr. Speaker, I think I'm guided because F addresses the point, but I was just looking at beyond that if there are other special circumstances. But
I was thinking you were going to talk about the external factors that people are. Okay, then let me hear you. Leader, I'll come to you.
Leader, let me have this one in my name. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as discussed earlier on, I propose a further amendment that the earlier proposed amendment for clause 25
be brought to
as in the merit of the application, the developmental need of the country, and the need to improve international cooperation be brought to clause 27. I so propose. Thank you.
So probably we have to catch the rendition well, that in case the Secretariat is considering international applications, they should look at it from this angle. Is that right? Yes.
Speaker.
Chief Whip, if you can.
Speaker, the initial proposal was to make the present amendment as advertised and carried 27(1) A, B, C, D, E up to H.
Yes.
Then the amendment earlier carried under 25 would have been taken from there structurally.
Yeah.
And brought under this to make it 27(2). Because of the head notes.
Very well.
So if the House is agreed,
fantastic.
Then
Yes.
the drafters can do that
Yes.
easily.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I want some guidance from the minister on this particular one, which is E. The E. The field of study and career goal of the applicants. So my confusion is, I'm trying to find out from the minister whether some brilliant but needy students, their field of study and career goal will not be accepted by the scholarship secretariat.
Yeah.
It looks a bit discriminatory.
If it is not the focus of the secretariat that time, like somebody said,
yes,
we are looking for engineers, so we want to support more engineers so that Ghana we can look at our engineering angle in such a way that Ghana can prosper the way we want it. So if the applicant, even though is brilliant but is an art student, they can say that at the moment the focus of the scholarship is to look for engineers or to look for science students. So they can use that as a criteria to turn down your application. That's my understanding anyway.
Mr. Speaker, that's why I want to get that from the minister, because you are a speaker. So I want to get it from the minister, because it looks a bit discriminatory. That's how that is the E. The E. Because we are talking about a scholarship for Ghanaians. And we are talking about brilliant but needy. But the E looks a bit discriminatory. It means that there will be a time that somebody will apply, but because the field of study and the career goal of that individual does not align with the scholarship secretariat, that person will be denied.
Yes. It's done everywhere.
I don't have a problem. I just want to get it, Mr. Speaker.
It's done everywhere.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe that it is very important that we are clear on this matter, because if we don't know where we are going as a country on systematic basis, we'll be giving scholarships for no apparent reason. We need to give scholarships for the goal that this country wants to achieve. So if it's science for maybe for the next 5 years, we decide to recruit for science. If it's for psychology, we can decide, and then that's what we should be doing. So I believe that it's very important that we keep this
very
clause
important
in there.
So honorable members.
Speaker, humbly, I think even in 27 line 2, I don't think it should even be consideration, because the whole checklist is for consideration, but it should be priority. Priority shall be given to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Evaluation. You want us to evaluation? Okay. Okay, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure we can use
So,
resolution to do it.
honorable members, the question for 27 is that all those in favor that cross 27 as amended stands part of the bill. As variously amended stands part of the bill, say aye. All those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is carried. So the drafters, please take note. As Honorable Dafiamapo said, we are going to have two that will take care of in case of international application. So then the amendment that was brought by Honorable Member for Okre will also capture it. So it means we will be lifting the 25 to that session. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, given that and knowing some other matters, I think that we can bring the curtains at 30 so that we can allow you to retire. But Mr. Speaker, before you do that, 26, may I seek your leave and indulgence once again? An application for scholarship under this act shall be made to the authority. Even though, Mr. Speaker, the question was put, online should be electronic. The language in information and communication technology is not online, but the application should be electronic. Mr. Speaker, if you can tolerate me and re-put the question.
I'll just ask the drafters. I'll just ask the drafters to look at it. So, Minister, I'll just ask the drafters to look at it. Well. So we take clause 28.
Award of scholarship.
Mr. Speaker, amendment proposed. Line 1, after shall, delete in consultation with and insert subject to the approval of. So the new rendition will be the Director General shall, with prior approval of the board, award scholarships under this act. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable members, there's a proposed amendment to clause 28. All those in favor that the proposed amendment is carried, say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The proposed amendment is carried. And the question is, all those in favor that clause 28 as variously amended stands part of the bill, say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The clause 28 as variously amended is directed to stand part of the bill. We turn to clause 29.
Cancellation of scholarship.
Mr. Speaker, there's no advertised amendment.
Honourable members, there's no advertised amendment to clause 29. All those in favor that clause 29 stands part of the bill, say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 29 stands part of the bill. Clause 30.
Collaboration with other relevant bodies.
Mr. Speaker, there's no advertised amendments.
Honourable members, there's no advertised amendment, says the chairman, and the question is, all those in favor that clause 30 stands part of the bill, say aye. All those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 30 stands part of the bill. On that note, we will bring consideration to a close. Leadership, any indication?
Speaker, it's just about 6 p.m. We haven't done more than 5 hours. Shh. Please. So we are in your hands. But Mr. Speaker, before we pray for adjournment, let me put this matter across to especially leadership of committees. Leadership of committees. The 2 p.m. sitting was agreed, hinged mainly on the fact that committee works will be done mainly in the mornings. But we have discovered that a lot of committee meetings have been slated for in the afternoons. Some even at 2 p.m. when the House is supposed to be convening. So even though we are just back from recess, the chamber, anytime we convene, we appear depleted. And it's not helping. Today, Speaker, I've had cause to speak to the issue. Yes, we agree that the committees must work, but let's work within the time frames so that we help the chamber also carry out its business. So we are pleading with the leadership of committees that when they need to agree with their clerks to arrange committee business, they should do so for the morning, so that when it is 1:45, we can all get to the chamber and start business at 2 p.m. Speaker, thank you. Speaker, that having been said, we are entirely in your hands, and we know that the mood of the House is that we bring today's business to a close. I believe my counterparts, the distinguished Ahmed who opposed this one,
You haven't done.
so that we can adjourn for the day. I thank you for the opportunity.
I understand we start proceedings at 2:35, so we haven't made the 5 hours, so just move a motion.
Speaker, I move that in the absence of any further business, I move that the House be adjourned for today till tomorrow 2 p.m. Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, we are not opposed to the motion. Speaker, save that. Speaker, save that. Today is for some of us a very sad day. Speaker, we have been told of the very sad news of you losing your mother. And Speaker, I do not know where you had your strength from to even sit for an hour or two. Speaker, I think you're a very strong man. I would be still crying if it were to be my mother. And I'm praying that she won't die now, because if she dies, Baba is not ready to take care of me. Speaker, we pray that God will give you the strength, the wherewithal to brace the storm around this time. We pray for divine strength. Speaker, I do not know how you are going to take this, but my prayer is that it's not. Speaker, I do not know if I'm actually allowed to do this, but I just wish you well. And I pray that my colleagues will join hands in sympathizing with you. In fact, we condole with you, Speaker.
Speaker, it's a tragedy. We were hoping that would have allowed you to go home, and then when you return, but once it's been announced, it's become official. On behalf of the leadership and the Thai House, and of course, Speaker, we extend our deepest condolences to you. You you are journeying home. So when you go and whatever the arrangements are, Mr. Speaker, keep the House informed so that we can support you. We are with you, and emotionally, spiritually, be strong. Deaf, be not proud, Mr. Speaker. Our deepest condolences to you.
Thank you very much. The motion for adjournment has been moved and has been seconded. The question is, all those in favor that the House is adjourned to tomorrow 2 o'clock in the afternoon, say aye. All those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion is carried. The House is accordingly adjourned to tomorrow 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I thank you so much for your sympathy towards me and by extension for my family. Thank you so much, and the House is accordingly adjourned.